Thousands of employees laid off at the IRS. How will that impact you filing your tax return? I spoke to tax professionals to find out.
We just know who she's with, and that's obviously the most troubling thing here.
Plus, the mother of a missing Beaver Dam teenager speaks out what she wants the suspected kidnapper to know.
And we're celebrating Black History Month. I'm Tanasia Shaw, live at Sun Prairie East High School with the way they're bringing in the month.
It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 6. Well, good evening. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Thanks so much for joining.
Roughly 7,000 probationary workers with the Internal Revenue Service are expected to lose their jobs this week. It's the newest round of federal layoffs by the Trump administration.
And this comes less than 2 months before tax day. So how will this affect your filing and possible refund? Arman Rahman joins us now with the answers.
I spoke to tax professionals and they tell me they don't expect the layoffs to have too much of an impact on you filing your tax return as long as you do it efficiently and as soon as possible. In fact, right now, Kim Ginter with Micro CPAs says, as always, the closer to deadline you file, the longer it takes to process and get your refund. And she says that'll definitely be the case after these layoffs. And now, more than ever, it's better to select a direct payment and direct deposit for your return rather than paper checks.
We've seen delays, pretty much since COVID had started. And with this new layoff, it most likely will increase those wait times for those refund checks.
You also want to make sure your tax return is not rejected for something like a PIN or an adjusted gross income number that doesn't match the previous year. That will require you or your tax professional to correspond with the IRS, and Ginter says that could take longer too now with layoffs.
It's like the payroll tax credits, when we've been inquiring about those or responding to a notice related to them, it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months just to hear back.
Tax attorney Emily Ott says most of the layoffs have been contained to the IRS's small business division, some of her clients.
Even if you are a small business, from what I'm hearing, there's no reason to be deviating from your normal tax preparation and filing practices.
This year, Madison Public Library offers free tax help at the Lakeview, Sequoia, Central, and Meadow Ridge locations by appointment. Ott says it's always wise to have professionals look over your work.
I would say being more proactive is something that the taxpayer should start to consider, at least as we move forward throughout the current administration.
This year, the experts also recommend to watch the progress of your tax return with the IRS's free online Where's My Refund tool. Reporting in Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
The mother of missing 16-year-old Sophia Franklin is speaking out. Leah Franklin says her daughter had no fear when it came to meeting strangers online, so they tightened their technology restrictions. Sophia first left home summer of last year when her family believed she was staying with a friend. In December, a probationary officer in Arkansas found Sophia living with 40-year-old Gary Day. Sophia returned home for the holidays, revealing she was pregnant. Weeks later, Sophia's dad found disturbing messages between her and Day, who is the baby's father. Court documents show Day referencing suicide and then saying, quote, "No one will care." 2 days later, Sophia was gone, and now Leah leaves a message for Day and for her daughter.
She is our child. You had no right to take her. There's so many people who are here to support you, who want to help with everything, and I mean everything. And it's okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make sure it's okay.
The Amber Alert for Sophia remains in effect in 3 states. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you're asked to contact Beaver Dam Police.
We now know the identity of the person who died in a shooting last Thursday on Madison's east side. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office says the victim was 18-year-old Tayshawn Larry of Beaver Dam. The shooting is still under investigation by Madison police. 2 teenagers were arrested Tuesday in connection with this incident. Both are facing charges of first-degree reckless homicide and armed robbery. During an initial court appearance yesterday, one of the teenagers' cash bond was set at $250,000. This is the first homicide of the year in Madison. We're also learning the identity of a man who was shot in Janesville in December and died weeks later. 51-year-old Taiwan Cannon was shot in the 300 block of North High Street on December 17th. Last month, police arrested 41-year-old Deontay Foster of Janesville in connection to this shooting. He's facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide following Cannon's death. Court records show a trial is scheduled to begin in April.
One person is hurt after a fire in Lake Mills that happened this morning. Crews were called to a home on South Main Street. Flames could be seen coming from a door on the back side of the home. Everyone inside was able to get out before fire crews arrived. Firefighters were able to get inside and put the fire out. One person was taken to the hospital for some burn treatment. No word what caused that fire. The home has since been deemed uninhabitable.
Governor Tony Evers is putting nearly $16 million into replacing pavement along Highway 16 in Jefferson County. Preliminary work is scheduled to begin on March 17th. This will happen along the highway between East Main Street in Watertown and Rock River in Ixonia, I should say. The project is expected to be completed in late fall of 2025. Resurfacing work on I-94 in Dane and Jefferson counties is set to begin March 3rd. This work will be done between County Road N and Cottage Grove and Airport Road in Lake Mills. It's expected to be wrapped up by November. And if you're interested in learning more about construction schedules and impacts, there will be a public meeting at the Cottage Grove Village Hall February 24th next week at 5 p.m.
Turning to weather now, the temperature's slowly warming back up. Meteorologist Blaze Keller now with a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Blaze?
That's right. I believe it was a week ago that I could barely see the screen in front of me because of that snow. And now we are going into this upcoming weekend on the quiet side. We're still sitting underneath that high pressure system. It brought down the Arctic air, but it has also going to be bringing us some warmer air as we go into the start of next week. It's 18 in Mineral Point, 14 Platteville, 19 Janesville, as well as in Waukesha, 18 Monroe, 20 in the Dells, 22 into Middleton and Verona we go, as well as 20 in Belleville. So we're beginning to cool on down. There is a bit of a wind chill, though the winds have died down as we've kicked off the 6 o'clock hour. They are still out of the southwest. Even though they're going to remain light tonight, they're still bringing up that warmth because we got to go from the low 30s tomorrow to the mid 40s by Monday. Single digits to low teens tonight underneath mostly clear conditions. If you're going to go out, remember that jacket because it is still chilly outside with those wind chills. We are going to track the heat as well as a few chances for a light wintry mix in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Right now, as Sun Prairie High School is celebrating Black History Month.
That's right. Sun Prairie East is having a soul food dinner with music, dance, and more. Sounds fun. That's where our Tanisha Shaw is right now. Hi, Tanisha.
Hey, yes, I'm here at Sun Prairie East High School. I know you can hear the music. First, I want to show you behind me. This is Wougie Wellness with Tiffany Sofa. For about 30 minutes, they have been with the kids around Sun Prairie Area School District, teaching them how to be fit and dance. The music, it's making me want to bust a move, but let me be honest, I'm a journalist for a reason. So today we're at this soul food cook-off. It's a lot of food, and we know they're really just coming here to eat food and to be together. On your screen, you're getting a look at this delicious food. I spoke to people who say this food is more than just a meal or a plate to them. It means community and fellowship.
Well, every year we have a Black History Month event. This year we having it all over Sun Prairie at all the different schools. We just had a cookout yesterday at Central Heights, and tonight we're having it here at Sun Prairie East High School. And I just like to see our community get together and, you know, break bread.
And I know firsthand just how important those meals are. I know Sunday dinners, how we just meet over this food and how important soul food is to our entire community. But you can pour back into this community here at Sun Prairie Area School District. On their website, they're always accepting donations, and this entire event is free, but they're allowing people to donate to their Black Student Union, giving their Black students, or any student honestly, an opportunity to go to HBCU tours, and that's a historically Black college or university. But Eric and Susan, I have some dancing and eating to do, so I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right, and I believe in you. You can bust a move too. Thanks, Tanisha. Appreciate it. All right, now we have a reminder. The Spirit of Service campaign is underway as we look to honor our local veterans making a positive impact in the community. News 3 is partnering with Vortex in giving back to veterans. All you have to do is log on to channel3000.com and nominate a veteran in your life who is doing something good. Over the coming weeks, we'll be sharing all of their stories, and then you get to choose and vote which veteran gets to take home a $5,000 cash prize, and a winner will be announced in early April. Coming up now on News 3 now at 6, several U.S. airlines are challenging a Biden-era ruling for travelers with disabilities.
Plus, the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels tour is coming to Madison. We'll take a sneak peek at what makes this more than just a rodeo.
You're watching News 3 now at 6.
So if you're a fan of Western sports and country music, then you'll definitely want to head over to the Alliant Energy Center tomorrow for the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour. This event, as the name implies, has bull riding, barrel racing, and American freestyle bullfights. Now look at all that. Wow. You could do that, Frankie?
Nope.
Okay. After the sports, the floor opens up to attendees to enjoy a concert by Wyland Wyatt and Muscadine Bloodline. Clearly I don't know country. This is the third year the event will head to Madison.
This is a full family-friendly event. There will be something here, the little bitty guys all the way up to Mama and Papa. They're gonna have a good time. There's gonna be something here that they enjoy. And you can come enjoy this as a family and just spend a great night out.
And you could get tickets at bullsbandsandbarrels.com.
Retail giant Target facing a lawsuit brought on by the state of Florida and also America First Legal. The lawsuit claims Target concealed the financial risks of its DEI programs and its 2023 Pride Month merchandise collection. This is America First Legal's second lawsuit against Target, alleging fraud for the backlash to Pride Month back in 2023. Now, the first case remains ongoing. Target was once a leading advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the business world. However, last month, the retailer rolled back its DEI policies in response to conservative and right-wing pressure. Major U.S. airlines are challenging part of a new rule for disabled travelers. That rule made airlines responsible for damaged or lost mobility devices, including wheelchairs, scooters, and walkers. In a filing with the U.S. Court of Appeals, the airline trade group Airlines for America and 5 carriers, American, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, and United, argue the rule is unlawful and that the Transportation Department exceeded its authority by putting the requirements in place. The airlines wanted overturned, saying that some situations like turbulence damaging a wheelchair, they say, are beyond their control. The new rule was introduced by former President Joe Biden before he left office. Still ahead, the Packers give us a sneak peek at what the upcoming NFL draft up there will look like.
Plus, the Department of Agriculture gives a conditional license for a bird flu vaccine for chickens. What the maker of the vaccine is saying about this decision.
And how's the weekend weather shaping up? Blaze will return his complete forecast after a short.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The U.S. Department of Agriculture issued a conditional license for an avian flu vaccine. It would be used in chickens amid an outbreak ravaging poultry flocks, contributing to the rising price of eggs.
Reporter Yvonne Rodriguez breaks down what this vaccine could mean for consumers and the agriculture industry.
If you've been to a supermarket in the last few weeks, you've noticed that not only are eggs increasingly expensive, they're also becoming harder and harder to find.
Dr. Jonathan Reiner with George Washington University School of Medicine and Health Sciences says the U.S. has a decision to make.
Whether to vaccinate the flocks in this country and deal with the political repercussions of that from the GOP base, or deal with rising egg prices and maybe eggs coming in from Mexico.
While other countries already vaccinate chickens against bird flu, the U.S. approach has long been focused on eradicating the virus, mainly through culling flocks of birds when a case is identified. Historically, vaccination has been thought to carry a number of complications, including making it difficult to detect the virus in inoculated birds and trade concerns that may result from that. Over the last 30 days, 151 flocks have been confirmed to have avian flu, affecting more than 23 million birds, according to the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, part of the USDA. Dr. Paul Offit says people could also become sick.
And certainly it can infect people who come in close contact with chickens and inhale a lot of the virus into their lower respiratory tract, their lungs.
Zoetis, the manufacturer behind the vaccine, says its scientists began updating its existing avian flu vaccine in 2022. In a statement, Zoetis noted the decision to vaccinate commercial poultry flocks rests solely with the national regulatory authorities in consultation with their local poultry sector. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
And a warmer weekend ahead. Here's Blaze with our complete forecast, finally.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's been a cold couple of days, to say the least. And for folks who have been holding out for the warmth, it is right around the corner. Really starting Sunday, lasting through as late as Thursday of next week. We'll be in the upper 30s to the mid 40s. Looking like Monday, at least we're going to start out our next work week underneath those mid 40s. That looks to be our warmest day over the next 10. But throughout this time, our extended forecast, we're also going to see a couple chances for more a light wintry mix. We're entering what we call northwesterly flow as the same high that cooled us down begins to slide off towards the southeast. What northwesterly flow is, it's just a fancy way of saying the jet stream is essentially tilted from northwest to southeast, and we're going to be right underneath it. So as these systems are riding out of Canada, they're going to warm us up a little bit, and then on the backside they may cool us down or bring us that light wintry mix chance. And that's what we're going to see as we go into your Monday night. This first quick clipper is going to maybe bring us a light wintry mix, probably more rain than snow, as it pulls its way out of the Midwest. But we don't tap into the cold air quite yet. That's going to happen later next week. So it looks like along the Illinois-Wisconsin border, that's our best chance to see some of that light rain, maybe a few snowflakes, as temperatures will be cooling from the mid-40s earlier that day. So this is likely going to be more rain than snow. We dry out Tuesday before that next clipper rides along the jet stream out of the northwest to the southeast. Beginning early Wednesday, we could see that wintry mix, and then we'll continue to see that threat throughout the day. Wednesday, a brief break Wednesday night before cooler air starts to move on down, and then we could start to see more of that wintry mix with snow versus just maybe a few snowflakes as we go into your Thursday. It's after this system that we pull down some of that cooler air that's just sitting off to our northeast in Canada. So again, we're underneath the jet stream where these systems will warm us up because the warmer air is just off to our southwest, and then they'll cool us down because that cooler air is off to our northeast. And that's where most of the snow is going to fall with these systems. I pulled out this weather model. I believe this is the European weather model, all the way through the next 10 days just to see how much snow we could see from these clippers. They don't really pack a whole lot of moisture, so we're really not going to see a whole lot, maybe less than an inch at best. In terms of rain, we're looking at a quarter of an inch at best as well. There's not a lot of moisture with these for rain or snow, so it does look like we'll do some melting and maybe get a light dusting of snow or rain as we go over the next 7 to 10 days. But watch as that red takes over. That is warmer than average air as we sit underneath this jet stream setup, the northwesterly flow. We tap into this warmth that is just off to our southwest starting Sunday through at least Thursday of next week. We're still warmer than average by Wednesday. We're looking to be in those upper 30s to mid 40s starting Sunday through Thursday. So for those who've been waiting for the warm up, it is truly right around the corner. Mostly sunny to partly sunny and breezy for your Saturday. We've got to warm on up. We got to get into those upper 30s as early as Sunday, and we will. And then we look to tap into those mid 40s by Monday. We do look to cool down, though, towards the end of next week into the start of March, which is that following Monday, I believe. We could add a few flurry chances there next Saturday and then that following Monday. But I think the best chance for any sort of precipitation is probably going to be in towards the middle of next week.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Blaze. Well, the Packers are giving a sneak peek of what Lambeau Field and Titletown will look like during the upcoming NFL draft already. Take a look. These are renderings of the setup. The draft theater will be in the stadium's northeast parking lot with its viewing area encompassing the stadium's east and northeast sides. Meanwhile, the campus will showcase the NFL experience featuring a kids play 60 zone. It's a space for kicking field goals and running 40-yard dashes and a gallery of NFL exhibits. The 2025 NFL Draft starts April 24th and runs through the 26th.
And coming up in sports, history in Bemidji. How the Badgers skated past the Beavers with ease. That's next on News 3 Now. For the first time in program history, Wisconsin will take on Oregon in a conference game. But when you think of these two teams, epic NCAA tournament games come to mind. They met in UW's run to back-to-back Final Fours, with the Badgers beating the Ducks both times. And this group knows those games won't help them prepare for Saturday's game, but we all agree they were pretty fun to watch.
I watched all those March Madness games coming up as a kid and in high school, but we as a team aren't looking at that. The game is completely different. Our players are completely different. Maybe as a history assignment, I'll go watch it for fun because the games have been great. But, you know, this is a new team and a new year with a whole new identity.
Other men's basketball news, Greg Gard has been named to the Naismith Coach of the Year watch list, and for good reason. His Badgers are 21-5 this season with 2 top 10 wins and sit third in the Big Ten standings. After, remember, they were picked to finish 12th in the preseason. Well, Mark Johnson loves going to Bemidji for two reasons. One, the fresh walleye for breakfast, and number two, usually his team leaves with a sweep. Wisconsin is 94-7-5 all-time against Bemidji State and has won 15 straight in the series. Caroline Harvey needed 1 point for the most single-season points for a defender in program history, and it didn't take long for her to break the record. First period, Captain KK lights the lamp for her 50th point this season. And then in the second, Casey O'Brien adds to her total, tapping her 23rd goal of the year home. She scored twice as Wisconsin wins again, 6-1, the final. And it's your final reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with Lacey Eden. Show starts in just a little bit, right here on News 3 Now.
Winning never gets boring, even if you've won 95 out of 103.
No kidding.
That is unbelievable. Quick final check, please.
Quiet conditions continue for your Saturday. Pretty seasonal, sunny, upper 20s to low 30s, upper 30s to low 40s. Sunday, we stay warm all the way through basically the end of next week. Best chance for a wintry mix looks to arrive later Wednesday.
All right, Blaze, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
See you back here at 10 o'clock.